King Kuttah Empire back at you. In this video, we're going to be talking about Corey Holcomb and how he's the best male comedian right now. In my personal humble opinion, the best female comedian right now is comedian Judge Miles, but the best male comedian right now is Corey Holcomb. And we're going to play this clip from Rivah TV talking about her first time going to a comedy show, period. And her first time going to a comedy show was to see Corey Holcomb. And she's going to tell about her experience. And we're going to chop it up.
What's funny is that anytime that he, even remotely mentioned something in regards to, women no longer carrying their children, if you know what I mean, there was some sort of like silence that would commence, right? Not 100%. There was a lot of women who were laughing, but I'll just put it into the terms of you can tell the people who were guilty by their inability to laugh at their own pain.
Now, Rivah is pointing out something. Corey Holcomb, he has, like she pointed out, a lot of dark humor. And go check it out. Again, fair use, Rivah TV. Corey Holcomb got a lot of dark humor. But what you got to understand, comedians, so to speak, is what we call, well, at least I call secular preachers. Secular preachers. They are here to make you laugh, but all at the same time, there's supposed to be a message behind their stand-up. And this is the reason why I say Corey Holcomb is the best male comedian right now, because he's able to make people laugh with his dark humor while at the same time giving out a message. And like she said, because I went to see him over here in Detroit metro area, I went to see him, and she is exactly right. His jokes, his stand-up is very funny, but all at the same time, it convicts people, especially when he get on the topic about abortion. And like she said, there's women laughing, but all at the same time, we're looking around and see the women that's not laughing. That's a sign that they are being convicted. You see, as a comedian, you ought to be able to tell jokes in light of encouraging people, enlightening people, but all at the same time have a message that make people want to do better, And Corey Holcomb, he's able to do this. He's able to do this.
Say something positive to the ladies, because I see some of y'all getting upset. Let me say something positive to the ladies. Good luck, goddammit. It's hard to the mother out here. I swear to God it is.
And this is funny to me because I understand he's not talking to all ladies. When you go watch that stand-up, he's dealing with the modern-day woman. And in reality, let's be real, with the modern-day woman, what can you really say that's good about her? I'm waiting. What can you really say good about the modern-day woman? Like I said, he's not talking to all women. He's talking about the modern-day woman. He don't have a problem. Hear me out. Corey Holcomb don't have a problem with good women. And his jokes is not targeted towards good women. His jokes is targeted to 304s, to mothers who don't take motherhood serious. And so in a lot of instances, you got a lot of people that get upset, they get mad at what he say. And you got a lot of guys who's weak mentally, who are simps, they get mad at what he say because they feel like they can't laugh at the joke because they're a woman there. They want to make sure that when they get in the car, which he talk about a lot of times in his stand-up, when they get in their car and driving home, they don't want it to be awkward. They want to get home and possibly be able to get some. So when they at this stand-up, they, trying to keep that laugh in and whatnot. But yeah, he give out a lot of good messages. So yeah, like this, what can you really say that's good about the modern day woman, huh?
I don't know what to tell you.
Now, along with, you know, in the conversations of, like I said, the dark humor and also exposing certain truths in regards to the baby aspect, he was also, you know, he also took a very big portion of holding women accountable, right? Which, you know, is right up our alley over here. And he talked about women when they get to certain ages and certain things. But what I really loved about the context of what he was doing is because everybody was laughing, not only because it was funny, but mainly because everybody knew it was true. You know, he talked about when women hit the wall. He talked about...
You see, like I said, comedians supposed to be, like I like to call them, secular preachers. Secular preachers, able to make people laugh, but with truth, dealing with certain messages that's going to hold both men and women accountable, able to pierce into their soul, get them to laugh, but all at the same time get them thinking like, man, even though this funny, but this truth, this real, this is where I'm at, or this is where I know somebody else at, right? And the reason why a lot of women don't want to put him in a category with your so-called Dave Chappelle's, with your so-called Kevin Hart's, the easygoing comedians, because they don't like the fact that even though he's super funny and he got some energy that he carries with it, he holds women accountable. And this is what women don't like. A great vast majority of women don't like this. But like I said, when I went to see him in Detroit, them women was in there laughing, which showed me the women that was in there, they was a different caliber of women. And for the most part, they was, you know, elderly women there with their husband that they done been with probably 15, 20 years. So a lot of stuff he was saying didn't apply to them, but they was able to say, yeah, this is society we living in. You should have heard a lot of what the women say, man, he ain't lying up to these women. Woo! They was up in there cracking up. Right? But the women who get upset and the men that get upset, it's the ones that simping towards women and the women that don't want to be held accountable. Right? And just like she touched on, he do talk about a lot of women that hit the wall.
You know, women leaving relationships and, you know, basically jumping out of the frying pan into the fire, which is something that we talk about on a consistent basis where, you know, women will be in great situations and cause either their homegirls or their friends or what society will think to make them leave situations.
Prime example right here. Who? Cardi B. This is a prime example. You jump out of the frying pan to get into the fire. What is we talking about? Oh, my man is cheating. But you go out there with another man that's going to cheat on you. And now you got a second, now you got a third, now you got a fourth baby daddy. And they all cheating on you. You'd have been better off staying with the person that was already, you know. I know it's a hard pill to swallow, but that's where we at. You have to understand, women, men is outnumbered, especially in the so-called black community. The men is part of the top 10%, the top 20%. They have their pickings. And I hate to tell you, a lot of men is going to exercise their options, whether you like it or not. And you tell yourself, well, I can't deal with this. I'm about to go out there and be with another. That means he's going to cheat on you, especially if you're a top 10%, top 20%. He going to do you the same way. Okay? And he might even do you worse because he's going to exercise his options even more. Okay? At least with your man, you can say, he's going to continue to take care of me. He's going to continue to provide for me. But now you ain't got out there, got yourself all messed up, living alone, and you think he gonna make you number one? No, he already got a number one. You are number 5. You're number 6. You're number 7. So why are you gonna jump out of the frying pan to jump actually into the fire?
And have nowhere else to go behind that.
Men, we cheat more? I think so. We can admit that. But let me tell you something, ladies. This is what y'all doing. It's really scandalous. Y'all always mess around with somebody you really like. You trying to upgrade. I would never do you like that, you know? I can't stand the people I mess around with.
Now, again, as funny as it is and as humorous as it is, it also speaks to a truth, right? And in his jokes and in his comedic relief, there's space where you can actually reflect and think of, you know, this is how men interpret things and this is how women interpret things, right? This is how men think, this is how their mind works, and this is how a woman's mind works.
And let me stop it right here.
And so you're able.
This is the problem with society, especially when it comes to masculinity and femininity. This is the problem. Men are expected to understand the feminine principle. Yes, we are. We are expected to know this. And you have men who have did the work to understand female nature. You got the AMS, you got the Dr. BOA, you got the Kevin Samuels, people that was in that space that began to teach men about female nature, and men did the work. Men ate up the knowledge. Men did the research. Men did the studying. So men knows about female nature. But on the flip side, women is not taking the time out to understand male nature. They're not taking the time out to understand the masculine principle. And this is what caused a lot of issues in society and a lot of breakdowns within relationship. And Corey Holcomb, when he get up and do his stand-up, this is all he tried to do, saying, listen, we understand female nature, but we trying to show you male nature. And he do it in a comedic light.
To see that duality, like I said, even within the jokes and within the comedy. And the reason why I know that to be true is because as I was, gazing around the room, I can reflect and see that there are some women who are literally sitting there pondering like, oh, that's how that works.
I'm here to help all the ladies. A lot of y'all didn't grow up with dads because your mom ran them away. Ladies, stop breaking up with your man for dumb reasons. A lot of women do stupid stuff like leave a man for cheating. You gonna leave him and go get another man? How is a stranger cheating on you?
As you can imagine, couples
so
being
2 days. We'll try to pay attention. He said 2 days, 2 paramount things, especially in the so-called black community. A lot of you women, you grew up without your daddy, number one, because your mama ran him off. That's true. You have to understand, in the so-called black community, men don't leave their posts like that. They don't leave home like that. A lot of times, they allow the woman to run them off. Run them off. And when somebody gonna say, I don't think that he in the streets. Listen, he may be in the streets, but at the end of the day, he still come home. He don't love them 3 or 4s in the street like that. He love his wife. But when you look at statistics, talk to me, somebody. When you look at statistics, 70% of divorces are being initiated by who? Women. So don't tell me that men is breaking up the home. No, you women is breaking up the home. So you women is running the man off. And because you're running the man off, a lot of your women that's coming up after you is growing up without a man in the home. Without a man in the home. And because the man is not in the home, go to the second part he brought up. Why you gonna leave a man for cheating? Oh, this is a repeated cycle because y'all don't understand male nature. Don't understand male nature, okay?
And him going into the realm of cheating was already something that could possibly have ruffled some feathers. And again, as I looked around the room and scanned the room, I could see some people who, were a little visibly bothered by some of the things that he's saying, like, no, don't say that, or, you ain't no good, for the things that he was saying in regards to cheating. But there was also a lot of spaces that he talked about things that were so reflective. Right? Like, okay, if a man is coming home, and obviously he's doing it in his comedic genius way, but like if a man is coming home and he doesn't have peace, that's going to drive him elsewhere. If a man is coming home and you are withholding intimacy from him, that is going to drive him elsewhere.
You see that? So Corey Holcomb in his stand-up, he just don't talk about, man, cheat. No, there's a reason behind what you believe to be madness. When a man can't find peace at home, he's going to go out on the prowl like a lion and find somebody who can give him peace. And like he said in his stand-up, you ought to be happy, women, for the side chicks. The side chicks is who is empowering your man to come home and deal with the bullshit that he had to deal with at home. And so he go out temporarily, get that satisfaction and feel a little happiness, and that build him up and make him go back home to deal with the mess, deal with not having no peace. Okay? A lot of you women, you drive your man to go cheat. If you really make that place a place of peace, if you was really doing what you supposed to do, if you was really not trying to be a Tatiana, not trying to get attention, not trying to be validated by everybody else outside of your men. If you was really not trying to be a sex worker in the aspect of being a prostitute, meaning you prostituting yourself publicly, that's what prostitution means, to put yourself publicly on display. If you weren't doing that, a lot of men will do more for you, will spend more time with you. If you learn how to stroke his ego, right? And make that place a home instead of a house where it's chaos, a house where there's division, a house where he has to go to the rooftop of the house to get away from you because you combative, then he will stay there more. Okay? And then you, as she's pointing out in the comedy show she went to when she saw Corey Holcomb, you have the audacity you want to use sex as a weapon. That ain't gonna do nothing but make him go to out there to sow his seeds even more. To go get his rock off even more. You can't weaponize sex against a man. You're gonna definitely lose. Okay?
And I think these are necessary conversations. And through the comedy, I felt like it really made people self-reflective, because even at points, he was like, okay, you know, y'all women over here starting to get mad. Don't be getting no attitude with this man in the car. Like, you know, making them really see, like, you know what, this is so true. And you know, light as he's making these situations, these are real situations that people have to reflect on and say, you know what? You know, sometimes ladies, we be tripping. Like, that was the mindset that I felt like women were getting.
And women, y'all have me laughing. Oh my God, y'all think y'all put us on punishment when we drop you off at the house? None for you tonight. None from you tonight. I just got to drive across town.
Now, the next thing I want to talk about is...
And I'm going to shut it down after you. Go check out Rivah TV. Like I said, fair use, fair use. Corey Holcomb had me crying. My honest reaction to this wild show. See, women, never use sex as a weapon against your man, because like Corey Holcomb said in his community, I may not be getting enough from you tonight. You can keep that box all you want. This other woman up the street is going to let me get in her box. Why? Because she wants your spot. See, a lot of you women, you do buffoonery. You do a lot of stupid stuff that get yourself out of the spot with the man, and he end up, okay, I'm about to let her get in the spot. And you looking at her like, I look better than her. I got a fatter ass than her. My body a little better than her. It ain't about that with men. You see, this is what Corey Holcomb trying to get y'all to understand. That's not about that with men. What men care about, you could be a 7, and you got the right personality. You able to work with the man, cooperate with the man. He gonna treat you better than this dime piece over here, because he know this dime piece, all she think that she supposed to bring to the table is her looks. No, you about to lose your spot big time. And when you lose your spot, you're jumping back out in a fire who ain't gonna do nothing with you but use you up, abuse you, add another number to your already high body count, and you just out here effed up, okay? So yes, man. Rivah TV is right, man. Corey Holcomb, even though he may have dark humor, the dude is very funny. Okay, y'all can say whatever y'all want to say about him. He's negative, this, that, and the other. But whatever the case may be, he's funny. Matter of fact, I said I was going to shut it down, but it's something that she's talked about masculinity. Let me see if this next.
The fact that I feel like Corey Holcomb represents masculinity. And when I say that, I'm going to unpack this, because I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, you know, he degrades women. He talks to women bad. And that's what you consider masculinity. Then, you know, something is wrong with you. I know people are going to have that perspective. But let me give you the insight on why I'm saying what I'm saying. Why I'm saying that is because masculinity stands in truth, right? Masculinity stands in, like, this is who I am. This is what I said. Not because you're a woman or whatever situation, I'm going to bow down to you and change my perspective. Masculinity is leadership. And so I love the fact that he pointed out, like, you know, if you're sitting next to your woman, you should be able to laugh at a joke. And I think so often there's you know, been this like indoctrination of you have to comfort a woman's feelings, and you can't be yourself, and you can't express yourself, and you can't find things funny, even if you know, have done it in the past or have never been guilty of these things. That, you know, you have to hold this high standard that not even comedy can, you know, take you to a space, because you have to put your, you know, relationship and protect it to the forefront.
Yeah, and I agree wholeheartedly. Masculinity means I'm going to be a man regardless of what you say. I'm not going to bow down to no woman. I'm not going to bow down to no system. You can say I'm toxic all you want, okay? Because that's how they try to shame men for being masculine. That's how they try to shame men for manning up. No, it's not toxic masculinity. No, it's real masculinity. And without real masculinity, this society will continue to crumble. That's why it's crumbling now. That's why you got so many feministic women in leadership that's ruined homes, that ruin societies, that ruin corporations, because you have men that's jellyback. They're not standing for nothing, okay? And at the end of the day, fellas, you have to be a man. You can't be pandering towards women. You can't be counting down to women for their feelings. A lot of these women don't give a damn about your feelings. They don't care about how you feel. They don't care about what you're going through. And that being the case, why not be masculine? And when you're masculine, hear me out. When you're masculine, you're going to draw feminine women to you, okay? And before I shut it down, I like the picture on the right side. You see Corey Holcomb then put his arms, and a lot of you guys, you so wicked, you hugging up on these women that ain't your women, all in a seductive way, in a sexy way, and you're wrong. Especially if that woman got a man, you're wrong. This is a decent picture. He didn't put his arm around her. He said, hold his arm. Listen, I'm being respectful, right? Because he know that Rivah TV is a respectful woman. She come off as a respectful woman. She respect her man. So he's like, I'm not going to be disrespectful. But a lot of you women, they come out as 304s and they come out as, I hate to say it, bitches. And so they get treated that way. All right? Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for your boy. All right, peace.